Welcome, kind listeners, to Under the Banyan Tree.
The live show where ancient epics meet modern minds.
I am Leo, a yogini from the West,
And I am Mayank, a rationalist from the East.
and together we journey through the Mahabharata from the retelling of Ramesh Menon, epic of war, faith, and everything in between.
Everything in between.
And today we are reading 3 chapters. Chapter 51, Anxiety in Hastinapura. Chapter 52, The Council at Hastinapura. And chapter 53, Vidura in Kampilya. And we want to look at these 3 chapters from the point of view of opportunity. Mayank, how do you understand opportunity? What's your concept of opportunity?
Oh, I have written my
By the way, I
definition.
think this was your time to
To do the
this.
summary, no?
No, to do the summary. We decided to alternate, right? About saying what we are going to read.
That's okay. Our kind listeners, they don't know that we have this agreement.
Oh, they know. I told them one of the
We
sessions.
just broke the agreement. Thank you. Yeah. So for me, the definition, and if you find me little distracted, it's because I've boosted up our display settings. So hopefully you will be seeing a 4K option. But what I'm seeing here is looks like my computer or the OBS is little bit freezing up, but hopefully everything is fine on the stream. Having said that, for me, opportunity is the opportune moment, and you can make use of that opportunity or you may miss out on that opportunity.
Okay. Yeah. When we were getting ready, I was thinking about it, and it's like we go to a meetup that we have the opportunity of meeting, of knowing other people.
Mm-hmm.
But you have that circumstance. The knowing other people, it depends. It depends on you, and also depends on the other people if they want to be known or not. So with this in mind, I always find that an opportunity never depends 100% on you.
Mm-hmm.
There's the stars, it's like a aligning of stars, and you having the capacity of taking the opportunity, believing in yourself in order to take that opportunity.
Okay. Let me just give me a second, and I want to test our stream quality.
Okay. He's taking this opportunity.
You can. Looks
Yeah,
fine.
looks fine.
Okay. Like for me, the main concern is the audio should not break, even if there are like frozen frames. But the
Mhm.
audio should be fine because our listeners are
They barely probably look at us.
yeah, and they are kind listeners. They are not kind viewers. So
Yeah. Thank you for that. With the idea of understanding opportunity, I went to search and I looked at the etymology of the word. And the word comes from the Latin phrase ob portum venines, and I'm sorry for my Latin, that means coming towards a port. So it originally referred to a favorable wind blowing a ship safely into harbor. So, the ship is there. We made all the right choices to be there, but the wind needs to favor you. So I think there's always that small pinch of salt that's behind that idea of whatever it's for you, it will come. You need to be at the right time, at the right place, meet the right people, and if it's meant to you, it will come.
So sorry because I'm
You are distracted.
So I would like to check with you again that example of the wind, because
So that's not actually, it's the etymology of the word,
okay.
because the word comes from a Latin phrase. And again, I'm sorry for my Latin, ob portum venens. So it meant coming towards a port. It originally referred to a favorable wind blowing a ship safely into harbor. So, the ship is there. They've done all the maneuvers. They prepare their missing the word. Okay, they prepared everything to enter the harbor. But the wind needs to be favorable.
Okay. We are having troubles. We are having frames dropped. I'm not happy with that. So
Okay.
we have a decision to make. What do we want to do?
What, do you want to reduce the quality and come back again? Or do you want to keep going and after we see? It's about image. It's not about sound. The sound, it's okay.
I hope so.
So if the sound, it's okay.
If someone can let us know.
That would be nice.
Yeah. Like if we are breaking, like I just don't want to break or something. Like
Ship is there. The ship there.
it looks fine.
So let's come back to
Okay.
let's come back to
Okay.
the purpose of this moment.
I'm taking deep breaths. Thank you.
You're welcome.
Yeah, I didn't choose the best opportune moment to make changes to our settings. And also, she said that last week we had a hiccup, but I relied way too much on our internet speed. Okay.
So
Thank you for explaining the etymology.
Uh,
But what's your meaning?
my meaning is a situation, a moment that's opportune. And as you said, and I agree with you, it's not only about the moment where it seems that there's an opportunity for you, you need to take it. And especially nowadays, we talk a lot about creating your own opportunities and taking your opportunities and be fearless. And because we are so concerned about a world that we created and we want to look nice in that world, and we are so afraid of losing whatever we have, and we want to be sure that everybody will like us, because half of us, we are people pleasers. At least I am a people pleaser, that we end up not taking opportunities. And maybe taking an opportunity, it's also taking a risk.
True. Yeah.
Because if you make one choice, it's not about what you will have, it's about what you will not have. What you lose by doing that opportunity, or what you think you will lose.
Especially, I feel in this particular chapter, there were things which can be considered risk.
Yeah, like I
And-
think when Dridrust made the choice that he made in the Shaba,
Yeah, in the Sabha.
Sabha,
Yeah.
that it's like a council. I think he felt cornered, and he thought, I don't have any other option. And he didn't think about the consequences of his choices regarding his son.
Yep.
Which, after we talk a little bit more, and from a point of view, he seized an opportunity.
Yep.
But from another point of view, he lost a few things. he loses a few things.
But if I ask you this, say whenever you are making a choice, there is something which you didn't choose.
Yeah,
You left out something.
yeah.
So in that way, is every opportunity also a missed opportunity?
In a way, it depends. Maybe you are leaving behind something that you want to leave behind.
Say someone is pursuing career and left family behind. So
When you've done that choice,
mhm,
you knew that you would have to at least physically leave your family behind. But and especially nowadays in our technology era, distance it's shortened. So it's not like 200 years ago where you will send a letter and eventually 6 months later you might receive an answer, which made trust much important, I think. Like when we didn't have mobiles, you would say tomorrow at 10 p.m. at this place. That's it. And if the person didn't show up, you're like, oh, okay, something happened. Nowadays, you before you get out, you send a message to confirm. You arrive there, and if the other person is 5 minutes late, you are wondering what happened. There's less trust. In a way, I think we reduced believing in good intentions, and we keep validating. We are deviating. We should have talked about this last episode that was about trust, not this
okay,
episode.
yeah, makes sense.
But yeah, an opportunity, it's a moment. It's never 100% in your hands. And you can take it or not, but taking an opportunity is also choosing not having other things. Like if you have 3 employment proposals, 3 offers, by choosing one, you
Yeah.
have to let go of the others.
True, makes sense. Yeah.
If I choose to go 100% in yoga, I need to make choices. And one of them is maybe put at risk my income.
Makes sense. Yeah.
There's always a choice. But after I can think, okay, now I have a limited income. And if I go 100% in yoga, there's no limited income.
Yeah. Makes sense.
I don't know. But I think opportunity, it's that. It's a situation, it's a moment that has different things at play, and they never depend 100% on you.
They are like an offering. They are an offer to you. You want to accept the offer, you want to reject the offer.
Yeah, but I think sometimes it's not even an offer. Like
You may not even realize that it's
the
an offer.
example that I gave, that we go to a meetup to meet other people, but after we are very shy and we are incapable of taking the first step to talk with another person. So in a way, it's a missed opportunity. You were there, but you didn't initiate. You didn't trust that possibility. You were expecting other people to do it. So I think an opportunity always requires some action from your side too. It's very rare when an opportunity falls on your lap and you recognize it and take it.
Makes sense. I think that word for me, the important word for me was to take action. Okay, I think
We are ready to do our Shravan.
yes. And today I will be very
Succinct.
Yes, that's my plan.
Okay.
So, chapter 51, Anxiety in Hastinapur. Vidur comes to Dhritarashtra with the news that he has a good news, and Dhritarashtra is expecting that Duryodhan has won the Swayamvar in Kampilya. And then Vidur reveals that, oh no, that's actually Arjun and Pandavas. They are safe in Kampilya, and
They are alive.
they are alive, and now they are relatives of a very powerful king Drupad. And Dhritarashtra, inside, he is all shocked and sad, and he had all sorts of roller coaster mixed feelings. But on outside, he says that he's quite happy and he's quite proud of the of Pandu's sons. And during that time, Duryodhan and Karn, they are back from Kampilya, and they hear all this conversation, and Duryodhan is kind of sad that his father is happy about Pandavas coming back. And when Vidur leaves, Dhritarashtra tells him that I'm not supposed to show all my feelings as a king, and then asks Duryodhan, what are your plans? What are you going to do? And Duryodhan comes up with many ideas like create a wedge between Kunti's and Madri's son, bribe Drupad, Drishtadyumna and his ministers in Kampilya. We can send spies in Kampilya to scare Pandavas from coming back, or we can seduce Pandavas using the prettiest woman in Hastinapur and then turn Draupadi against them, or we can get rid of Bhim, and Pandavas are nothing without him. And Karn says that none of this will matter, none of this will work. Probably we can discuss them later. And then Dhritarashtra says that let me call the Sabha, and Karn can talk about a direct attack, because that's what Karn was saying, that we should attack them. And we can try people getting into this idea of attacking the Pandavas and probably go for that kind of idea. But better Karn says this and not Duryodhan. That was Dhritarashtra's idea. Then the council was called. So chapter 52, council at Hastinapur. First of all, Bhishma came up. He reminded Dhritarashtra and Duryodhan about the opportunity to revive their reputation. He offered Duryodhan that he should return to do dharma, he should revive his fame and reputation, he should make Pandavas friends and allies, and have peace and avoid war. Then Drona said that, and he was even more direct. He appealed Dhritarashtra to send a messenger and bring Pandavas back. And then Karn stood up and asked that we should go for a direct confrontation, a battle. And Drona told Karn that he has a malicious tongue, so he should shut up. And then Vidur, he made the best case, in my opinion, that he reminded Dhritarashtra about his childhood, uh, about how Karn has no understanding about this situation, uh, that people are still accusing Dhritarashtra and Duryodhan for the Lakh Palace. And he reminded that now they have allies like Pandavas, Drupad, and Yadavs. So, in a way, all sort of emotional and tactical manipulations. And then in the end, Dhritarashtra got cornered, scared, decided that let's bring them back, announced that Vidur should leave for Kampilya for gifts and bring Pandavas home. Chapter 53, Vidur in Kampilya. There's a reunion between Pandavas and Vidur. He brought the message from Kuru Sabha and the people of Hastinapur. Krishna advised Pandavas that they should go back to Hastinapur, and Krishna will also give them company for their safety. Kunti was concerned about this plan, but eventually she got convinced. Yeah, because Vidur provided her all sorts of explanations, and ultimately all the folks along with the two armies, they set out to Hastinapur from Kampilya. So this is it.
Well done.
Thank you. I thought I will be succinct, but no. There was a lot to
Well,
cover.
there was these three chapters, especially the first and the second. So the 51 and 52 chapter, they are full of arguments.
Yeah.
And if we remove the arguments, there's not a lot of truth. So
Yeah.
you had to bring the arguments into the table.
Yeah.
Karn,
Also, they are completely political chapters,
yeah,
which I enjoy. I don't know
I
about you.
know.
Yeah.
There's something that you didn't mention, and in a way, I was happy that you didn't mention. But so Karn makes two comments
Mm.
that were a dagger in my stomach.
So you're taking the first opportunity to discard.
Yeah, because I always try to be compassionate towards Karn. I couldn't in these two chapters because he is a sexist. He has prejudice against women, and like I can't forgive him. And okay, maybe he's
I think
traumatized, and it because he was
No.
abandoned by his mother.
you may have to give the context to the
Yeah.
kind listeners.
So
What are
in
the things which he said?
when Duryodhan was giving all the possibilities and tactics of getting rid of the Pandava, one of the comments he did was enough of women ways, as if women are experts in manipulation and treachery, and those are the ways of women. And
I
even
didn't interpret it that way actually.
okay, how did you?
I interpreted it that the man's way is to battle and the women's way is to discuss and talk about things.
Oh, that's a much pleasant.
Yeah.
But
But
no,
yeah, I guess, yeah.
when you read all of the possibilities, they are negative approaches. They are treachery. They are manipulation. They are lying. They are bribing. And even if women at that time did certain things like that, well, it was the only thing that was left to them. Like the only way of getting things done was by using the words, using emotional manipulation, because they didn't have access to anything else. Even like, and the other comment was because women like to have many men. And I think that was a direct attack to Draupadi's reputation that we later on in the text will see again. And I think that's out of spite and jealousy. That's it. Because when we see him in the Swayamvara
Swayamvar.
of Draupadi, he circles as he's hunting. So she was his prey. She made him miss his target through whatever connection with Krishna, but it was her mouth that spoke. And he's simply again drowning in shame and barking at the wrong tree.
And what it gets worse if you get to know that in the original version, she hasn't even said any of that.
Yeah.
So I think it's the frustration that Arjun was able to make it and he couldn't. And because of that, now if he says anything against Arjun, he will sound like someone frustrated, so he
He
takes it out,
directs
yeah, on
onto
Draupadi.
Draupadi.
Also, when you were saying that in those times women didn't have any other means, I that's why I guess it's a great blessing that something like industrial revolution happened, because it takes out this whole. So yes, still in physical brute strength men are more stronger, but say when it comes to driving a bus, now with power steering, it doesn't matter if you are a man or a woman, you can drive it efficiently. So I feel that with more investment in science and with more investment in removing obstacles which need brute strength or something, you
Yeah,
can.
but that's not being done because of women.
Well, I get it, that's not been done, that we haven't done them
They
specifically for
they they
women.
haven't. Oh, let's engineer this thing because we want women
Well,
to do this work.
see,
But yes, I
I
agree with what you are
no,
saying.
but this is here I digress. It's not man's responsibility, like, and by man I mean male's responsibility to emancipate women. I feel we are in a point of time where enough women can do things for women as well.
Well, if power,
Mhm.
politic power, is in the hands of men, I think it's much more difficult for women to have, to have constitution changed, to change certain types of prejudice. And I don't think that's a matter of men and women.
Mhm.
I don't agree with that dichotomy because as a species we need both and they are complement to each other. I
See,
think it's about a society, and someone said something to me like the development of a country is measured by the way they treat women.
I am not talking about politics,
Mm-hmm.
okay? I was talking about brute strength, in the sense that if you think why men were having privileges in previous times was because of their brute strength.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, that men are more stronger, so you can enroll them in army and then you can attack other kingdoms and you can do all sorts of stuff with
Mm-hmm.
men. Now with women, and in many sense, like say if you think of warfare nowadays, you can attack anything every with missiles, with drones. It doesn't matter who is sitting behind, a man or a woman.
Mm-hmm.
Similarly, when it comes to technology, like say building cars and all, you don't need brute strength now. You have robots working and you humans work alongside them. So in I was saying that in those terms, to
Mm-hmm.
emancipate women,
Mm-hmm.
women can contribute.
Mm-hmm.
Like if there is something which you feel, that which anyone feels that, oh yeah, this thing because of how women anatomy is, it would be better if we design it that way, no one is stopping you. When it comes to prejudices, when it comes to political power, I think minorities, they always have to struggle harder. And by minorities I don't mean the number, like I mean in that system, if you are in minority you will always struggle. And it happens, that kind of thing, it happens with time. You cannot change the thinking of the society overnight. That
Mm-hmm.
doesn't happen. The only way it happens is that those people who think those ways, they keep on getting
Do you
eliminated.
so? And looking at Mahabharata, we
Mhm.
know the purpose of all of this. is to eliminate the Kshatriya, to allow the next era to come. Do you think Karn it's like representation of a extreme of what was one of the traits that need to change in society? Like we have Duryodhan as extreme example of envy and attachment to material things and blindness in terms of I don't the means justify the ends, doesn't matter. And that's the
Sorry, I think you said it opposite. The end justifies the means.
yeah, thank you. And that makes me think about, in a way, Braveheart. And it okay, because the cause was noble, we side with him. And we have Karn representing the behavior in relation to women, because later on we have more conflict about this and about the perceiving a woman as an object that belongs to the man. So I see it as it's not as a canon, as it's not canon, as archetype.
As a metaphor.
Not even
to teach us something.
No, I see the book as a metaphor to teach us always something, but I think maybe each character, it's an archetype that represents something. And I see Karn as someone that has qualities, but he has a fault. One of his faults, it's the way he perceives women. And Duryodhan has qualities, but one of his faults is to be so attached to the property, so attached to the...
I don't even think it's the attachment. I think his primary vice is envy or jealousy.
Yeah, but
like he gave away the kingdom of Ang to Karn. So, but he just can't share it with Pandavas. That's his issue. He can share it with others, but with Pandavas, that's where he's like, nope, I can't even give them an inch of land.
Okay,
So,
you're right. But he is extremely arrogant.
Yep.
And possessive.
Yep. Like, I think what happens is because of that envy, and in all honesty, he had the tools. By tools, I mean like he had Bhishma and Drona and Karn. So he believes himself to be invincible that way. That who is going to kill Bhishma? Who is going to kill Drona? There is no way this can happen. And we eventually see as well that there were no clean ways to get rid of those folks. So I just feel that from his envy, he just feels that Pandavas are not at all equal. They don't deserve anything
so
from his side.
He considers the Pandavas inferior to him?
Yes, and he considers himself superior, not because he knows he's better than them, but he feels that whatever I have as my alliance, whatever people I have at my
but
side.
But when he was a kid and was trying to kill Bhima, he didn't have that thought process. And even then...
Yeah, so at that point of time, I thought it's pure envy. I don't think at that point of time he was doing these calculations around who has more power in their camp. But now I think he does those calculations.
Okay. So we digressed.
Hmm.
And I'm sorry, I was the one that created the opportunity of this digression. So now, where do you see opportunity in the text?
I think there were many instances. Like, I think the first one, the very first one, was Vidur sharing the news with Dhritarashtra. I think it was at an opportune time because now it was a good time to reveal the news because Pandavas had allies like Drupad and Yadavas. And as a child, I used to underestimate this whole part, that why they have to go out and then they come back and what has changed when they come back. But in all honesty, if we think about those kings and queens in England and France where they killed their cousin or something, or beheaded the reigning queen because someone else wanted the throne. So now I feel that it's not an impossibility. If Pandavas were on their own with no other backing, these things were possibility, that say they were in Hastinapur and some conspiracy happened, someone, they are either arrested or killed or what. And yes, they have the support of people, but state machinery can always suppress people. But here, when you have external entities supporting them, it's it's not that easy. Especially Drupad and Yadavas, they were very powerful. So I think Vidur went to Dhritarashtra at a very opportune moment.
And I think he took a lot of pleasure in
Yes,
that moment.
I think so as well. First of all, it was a good pleasure as well because for him it was good news. And then I think some sadistic pleasure as well. Mm, And at least I liked that part in the book that the line says either his heart didn't believe that his brother is still in that whole thing. I feel in that way it creates some sort of, little bit of a gray area in our head when it comes to Dhritarashtra as well.
I still have a little bit of the Dhritarashtra from the series in my mind. Therefore, I still try to find good intentions in him. However, it's getting harder and harder because he simply sides with Duryodhan.
Yeah, and on that note, I have written, I think Dhritarashtra wanted an opportunity to be proud of Duryodhan, and that's why he was hopeful that Duryodhan won the Swayamvar. But Duryodhan is not giving him any
That's
opportunities
nice.
to be
Yeah.
proud of him.
Yeah.
So, yeah. Mm. Do you
Which
have
other missed opportunities do you think we find in the text?
like? I think that was second chapter,
Hmm.
so I would not disclose it now. But I think there were many missed opportunities.
Okay.
In this chapter, I would say there was like missed. I don't know. Like Karn wanted to go for a battle directly. He missed that opportunity because he couldn't bring Duryodhan and Dhritarashtra on board on that idea. So I think he missed that out here as well in this chapter, and then he missed that out in the next chapter as well. So that I feel, because his heart yearned for a battle.
I think he simply yearned to prove himself.
Yeah, I think what he was simply doing was that he just wanted to prove himself better against Arjun.
I don't think it was simple. It wasn't simply about Arjun. I think he needed to prove himself towards society towards his guru
Mm-hmm.
and towards himself because he doesn't believe in him. So he needed to prove to himself that he was right, that he was a Kshatriya.
For me, this is like, yeah, maybe. But I think,
Otherwise, the words of Draupadi would not hurt him the way they hurt. He needs to be recognized as a Kshatriya by everyone.
mhm. But I still think that if there was no Arjun in the picture, probably he would have been a little better
I
person.
think I think we will always find a nemesis to project our own insecurities.
Yeah, but if there was,
Uh,
say, no one at, if Arjun was not there, there was no archer at his level, what do you think he would
but
be?
for sure someone else would come. Even if it could be Duryodhan or Eklavya.
That's what I'm saying. Say if you are outrightly number one, then what happens? Then do you think this?
But if you are outrightly
Hmm.
number one and you are recognized for it,
Mhm.
maybe finally your ego is satisfied.
Yeah.
But after you have to fight and you struggle with yourself to keep that position. Because that's the center of your world. That's what's more important to you. So, and you will always project that externally. And you will become, paranoid like Duryodhan is and seeing enemies everywhere.
Like, I'm still not on board,
Okay,
but I may
I'm
think
fine.
about it a little bit more. But yeah, like I don't know that other hypothetical scenario if Karn had no competition in terms of Arjun. But yeah, mm, yeah, but I don't think.
Even if he didn't have the competition with Arjun,
Mm.
he would still have the need of proving himself. He would still have the need of going into battle and show that he was the best among the best
No, I'm
and
not
he's
denying.
unquestionable.
No, I'm not denying that. I'm not saying I. I definitely agree that he has this tendency where he want to show and prove to others and take what's that word? Take affirmation from others that, oh, he is the best and this and that.
And that's why he
But
likes so much Duryodhan.
yeah, but that's what I also like. That's why I say if he was outrightly number one, if he was already. So, for example, during Draupadi Swayamvar,
Mm-hmm.
until unless he heard that line,
Mm-hmm.
he was completely confident.
Yeah.
And everyone had that because everyone in that place was like, if Karn can't do this, no one else can do this. I think he was very confident of himself and everything.
Yeah, but someone touched his wound.
Yeah, and that wound comes from like not knowing his own past completely, and he doesn't have that acceptance that I am a Sutputra. He just doesn't have that acceptance.
And do you see the difference between Vidur that says, I'm the son of a maid with pride?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
How the more, okay, like one it's the mother and the other one it's the father, that's why it's more complicated. But that's the difference between the acceptance, accepting the circumstance and harvesting whatever opportunities comes from it,
Mm-hmm.
and refusing to accept something and want to get some recognition by using your fists.
No, makes sense. But I also Yeah, so it's like, as I always say, that we all have been dealt with cards and we can't do anything about it. There are certain things which you can't simply change about yourself. And with those cards, there may be some privileges coming, and with those cards, there may be some things coming which may not go in your favor.
You can't change the cards, but there's many different games that you can play with them. And clearly, Vidur and Karn are playing completely different games.
Yes. Karn could have focused on all those positive aspects of his life, that he has a kavach, he has a kundal, he's an amazing archer. Uh, Probably he could have concentrated in all those aspects. And I also feel like, think of this, there was a time when Duryodhan and Karn, they both believed that Pandavas are dead. And I don't know, there is no mention of what happened during that time between them. But I'm hoping that probably Karn behaved better in those times, because for him it was like, okay, whosoever was my competition is gone. That's what I think. His non acceptance of being a Sutputra, I feel that's little bit of a different issue than his
Yeah.
competitiveness with Arjun. That's what, like, he
But I
believes
think
that if people accept him as the best archer in the world, that tag of being a Sutputra will not be remembered.
yes.
Yeah.
But the problem is, as long as he feels inferior because he is a Suputra, it will always trigger him.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, makes sense.
Even, if it's a beggar telling him that, it will trigger him.
Mm-hmm.
But in those times, there were no therapists. So we move on.
Mm-hmm.
So in a way, what we are saying is that Karn missed many opportunities because of his belief in and the way he saw being the son of a Sutputra. And now I'm arguing against myself, because the only thing that he wanted to do or be was being a kshatriya, to learn about warfare. And over and over and over again, over years, society rejected him because he was a Sutputra. So it is hard to overcome that prejudice, and that it's a deep wound, and I understand it.
Yep. It has happened to a lot of women, especially in science. They worked and they invented something or discovered something, but they were never given credits.
Yep.
So, in all honesty, I also feel that it's just an effed up society that has a very rigid and sad system. If the system would have been like, yeah, you are good enough, you are a great warrior, here is your tag, you are a kshatriya.
That makes me think about what the Shiva theology.
But what did.
The way they were raising the kids.
Yeah, it was.
It was by the characteristics that you developed.
Yeah, but that's the thing I feel.
That's another twisted, and let's not digress
No,
again.
but what I'm saying is that all those things, every idealistic idea is just a story. It never happens.
Yeah.
So the pragmatic way was to let people do whatever they want, but this system doesn't allow. So let's move on from that. But yeah, in the council at Hastinapur, I I felt when it comes to missed opportunities, there were many, like Duryodhan missed to return to Dharma, to revive his fame and reputation, to make Pandavas friends and allies, to have peace and avoid war. Everything from Duryodhan's end was a missed opportunity. What do you think? Because the advices from Bhishma, from Drona, from Vidur, everything was quite sane. He just didn't have the mental capacity to process them. जब नाश मनुज पर छाता है पहले विवेक मर जाता है.
Can you translate?
When your doom is looming over you, your conscience or your
Awareness, rationality.
Yeah, it dies.
Yeah. Yep.
So he wasn't rational at that moment at all. Because I especially thought especially the arguments made by Vidur were best. He made emotional arguments. He told them the reality, the current reality, that they are now much more powerful. He told them how the people of Hastinapur feel about the king and Duryodhan. So all those arguments were great arguments for Duryodhan to.
There was, I think there is a miss opportunity of openly saying the truth. Everything it said in half words.
Well, I don't think you can. I think there was enough said. Bhishma said that Purochan is dead and dead don't speak.
Yeah.
So but you can't go beyond that. If you don't have the conclusive evidence, you cannot simply just go and blame someone.
You don't need to blame, but you can say, this is what I understand.
Well, I think everyone said something on those lines.
Okay.
Drona said that they haven't done anything bad to us, but they can't say the same for us.
We know that Drona knows what will happen.
How Drona knows what will
because
happen?
he had a dream or a vision, and that's why he asked Arjun to promise, to do the promise.
Oh my god, this Ramesh Menon guy.
So,
man, are you alive? If you are alive, please contact me. I have many complaints against you.
So my question is, Drona knew that whatever were their actions at that moment in time, ultimately there would be a war. I think he kept siding with him because he believed that was
Bhishma. Yeah.
with Bhishma, because he believed that that was the right side, and regardless of what would be to come, he would try to always side with Dharma, regardless of the outcome.
So I have an analogy for this. Say you are in a river which is flowing fast, and it is taking you towards a waterfall, and after that there's a short death. You will keep on swimming. You will try your best to go in the reverse direction, and you know you will fail, and you know you will die, but you will keep on swimming.
Yeah, but again, you have other possibilities.
What?
You can swim in a diagonal. You should never
No. I'm
swim
saying,
against the current.
But that's what I'm saying. That when you know that nothing can save you. You will die. There is a guarantee. Even then, you try. You don't give up. And I think the that's what I
Because,
genuinely think. Drone, Bhishma, they all knew where they are heading to.
yeah,
Like Bhishma probably should have this idea that his life of 300, 400 years is probably waiting for some big event to happen.
do you, like, he never Drona, although now Drupad, his nemesis,
Mm-hmm.
is siding Arjun,
Yep.
he never turned against him,
Against?
against Drupad
Hmm.
again, or Arjun.
Well, he considered Drupad as his friend.
Okay.
Drone had no malice now.
Okay.
It was only Drupad.
Mm-hmm.
And that's why, at least from the series, if you remember,
There's a transfer of hatred from one heart to the other,
no. But
accordingly to
yeah,
the book.
yeah. But in series, if you remember, when Vidur takes the message, he says Drone cannot decide if he is from the
Yeah.
girl's side or from the groom's side.
Yeah. Yeah.
So,
So, what else about opportunities?
well, in the flashback, Dhritarashtra had an opportunity to delete Duryodhan as soon as he was born, which is completely messed up. And he remembers that he
Mm-hmm.
didn't follow that advice of Vidur.
I think Bhishma had the opportunity of hope,
Which hope?
the hope of maybe this will not fall apart. You know, as you said, you know that you will die, but you keep doing it, you keep trying, and that needs to come from a place of hope, of, you know, another possibility.
Yep.
So I wrote, and this regards the last chapter, Vidur going to Kampilya, that Kunti was very fearful of this new opportunity that the Kaurava have to kill the Pandavas, to delete the Pandavas.
I couldn't get you. Kauravas have to delete Pandavas?
So Kunti,
Hmm.
what she saw was, with the Pandavas going back to Hastinapur, the Kauravas had a new opportunity
Yeah.
to delete the Pandavas.
Makes sense. Mm-hmm.
There, and going back, I'm sorry, like I was thinking about the fact that you have, I don't know how many people, but a good amount of people in the Sabha,
Mm-hmm.
and only 3, okay, 4 talk.
Yeah.
So, and this made me think about, you have the opportunity to know, you have the opportunity to listen, but you don't have the opportunity to speak.
Mm-hmm.
And all those 2 chapters gave me the opportunity to look back, because we have some instances where Vidur is saying, you know, young, hot-headed, and you need to learn much more. And so many times, older people that are older than us, they come to advise us, but in the heat of our arrogance, we disregard their. What are you doing?
Nothing. You just continue.
Okay. They disregard their opinion. Sorry, I got distracted. I lost my train of thoughts.
You were saying something along the lines that you first you stated about the opportunity that not everyone got the opportunity to speak.
Mm-hmm.
And then you were saying that but everyone got the opportunity to listen.
Okay. So when we are young or even now, we tend to mock the advice of the elders. And for me, it was a great reminder to actually listen with my ears, with my heart, because 99% of the times there's a wisdom, a deep wisdom behind it. Even if the words are not the perfect ones, or even if we need to adapt to a new era, they have value and we should listen truly, not like Karnan Duryodhan.
Well, I'm not that kind to old people, but yeah, I would say it's better to give them your ears, like listen to them and at least try to process it, and then based on the merit of the argument, you can either accept it or reject it. Um, I wouldn't say 99%, but yeah, there's a 50-60% good chance that they may be making sense. So it never hurts to listen and process. And I think they just didn't listen. The process part was way out of the the whole picture. So I think uh but in some ways I also feel that Duryodhan was a character where you just can't expect rationality. There wasn't any, because he got all the opportunities to make mends. He just didn't take any.
Okay.
And that's why I think eventually the war happened. You cannot reason with someone who is completely unreasonable.
Yeah, you never have an argument with a donkey.
Hmm.
Now, shall we move on to Naman?
Yes, please.
Please go ahead.
I will give you the opportunity first because I think there was probably one outstanding character. So,
No, and my Naman goes to Vidur
mhm,
just because of what I said. Um, he was the voice of reason. He was the voice of wisdom. He was the voice of integrity. So I want to Naman him and try to learn a little bit more from him.
mhm, yeah. And I think this time I align with you. I also felt that I I felt that the arguments which he provided were so, yeah, like I would say I'm yeah, so I would frame it this way. I feel many times people feel that if you are saying something trivial out loud, that's useless. But I don't believe that.
Hmm.
I believe that even if you feel that something is trivial, you should say it out loud, because there can always be someone who may not have thought of it. Second, it also shows that you are quite comprehensive in your thinking. You have thought all the aspects for the problem.
Mm-hmm.
And that's what I liked about Vidur's argument, whether it were to Dhritarashtra or it were to Kunti.
Mm-hmm.
I I will give a very small example. Like, I heard a podcast where a guy talked about why street food in India tastes good.
Mm-hmm.
And he talked about that thing for like 1.5 hours. And they were all trivial arguments which we all know.
Mm-hmm.
But I think none of us sat and wrote them down
Mm-hmm.
and compiled them so that we can talk about it for 1.5 hours.
Mm-hmm.
And I find Vidur to be that character. That even though arguments are trivial, everyone knows it, he's the one who writes them down. and uses them at the correct point.
Mm-hmm.
And he was clever enough to sense the weakness of Dhritarashtra and kept on hammering until he broke. And similarly, he gave Kunti enough confidence so that she feels safe to come back.
Mm-hmm.
And therefore, I found him pretty impressive
Mm-hmm.
in this chapter. Like I probably we have not seen that part in the series, so I've actually found the book Vidur more impressive than the series. Maybe if we watch it, it can change, but at least in these 3 chapters, I found him more impressive.
Yeah. Yeah, I agree. Okay, so I think we are done for today.
Yes, and with a lot of technologically challenged session, but I still feel that you can hear is fine, you can see us fine, and if you have any feedback, please let us know. I am the tech guy here, and I will try to improve by our next session. Do we have anything to say about our next session? Do we have any theme, anything, or it will be a surprise?
It will be a surprise.
So our next theme is surprise.
It can be surprise.
Yeah, so good to know that.
Okay, so we just decided the theme for our next episode. It is surprise, and we hope to see you in a week time. Wishing you a great week. Thank you so much for lending your ear, and please share your thoughts, comments.
Yes, thank you so much for being with us today. See you next week. Namaste.
Namaste.